Boujou, Wagosh Indigo, Migizi and Dodem, Gazagasquaji Mekag, Hindunjiba. Today I'd like to share a little bit about Ojibwe protocol for greetings. This is pretty common, but there is some variation across Ojibwe country and even within communities around this. Most people begin with a simple greeting, and the common ones in Ojibwe are Boujou and Anin. There's some debate about the origin of Boujou. Some people believe that it comes from the French bonjour and that it's a cognate that made its way into Ojibwe. Others believe that it's a derivation of the word for one of our legendary figures in Ojibwe culture, Wayne Boujou, who's always going around in his human form. And you have to check when you first meet someone, are you Wayne Boujou? Boujou? And it got shortened. And that sometimes the word boujou is actually used as a parting. This is a little bit less common, but it does happen. And I've had reputable Ojibwe elders like Archie Mose, who was born in 1901, when I was saying, Ahau Gekawabamin, I'll see you later. And he said, Ahau boujou, and used it as a parting. So that can and does still happen, even though it's most commonly used as a greeting. So that, and the other one is Anin. And in Ojibwe, the word Anin by itself actually means what or how. So you'll hear it in other sayings like Anin, Ajiayayan. And sometimes that word Anin gets contracted with dush, which means and or but. And together you get Anish, like Anish, Ajiayayan. And it would be so common, just like in English, you don't say, hello, what is up with you? Every time you see someone, you say, hey, what's up? It's kind of like that in Ojibwe too. Anin Ajiayayan, getting truncated to Anin, it just became a common greeting. And it's interesting, across the southwestern Ojibwe dialects, and even into places, like Manitoulin Island and so forth, then Anin, or for the Odawa speakers, Ani, becomes a very common greeting. When you go further north, it will not be a common greeting there. If you say Anin, they think you're saying what? And so they're like, what? And it just sounds strange to them. They're always used to hearing Boujou. So there's a little regional variation, Boujou or Anin. And then the most common thing that people do is they introduce themselves with their native name. And whatever your name happens to be, my native name is Wagush, which means fox. So here I am wearing my fox medallion today. Usually you'll use the native name, and then you have a couple of choices from there. So Indigo means I am called, and it is sometimes preferred by some speakers as a way of saying I'm called by them, like the Creator and all the spirits amongst us. But it doesn't have to be rigid that way. So some people will use indigenous cause, meaning my name is, and leave it at that. So those are probably the two most common to be used with introducing your native name. Some people will say, like Wagush Indigo, my name is Fox. Anton Indigenous cause, my name is Anton, but I'm known as Wagush. So that's fine too. Again, this isn't like set in stone or such a strong protocol requirement that you're going to be in trouble one way or another. You just have choices, as you do with any healthy living language and culture. And then the other common things that people will usually introduce is their clan. So if you happen to know what your clan is, in my case, Migizi is the name of my clan, Eagle, then you simply say in Dodem. Migizi in Dodem. I'm from the Eagle clan. If you happen to be from the Bear clan, you'd say Makwa in Dodem. Or if you're from the Lynx clan, Boujou in Dodem. And that's another very common piece of Ojibwe protocol for greeting. Boujou, Wagush Indigenous cause, and Migizi and Dodem. And then the other common piece that people will use will be to identify where they're from. And for the southern dialects of Ojibwe, you'll just be hearing Indunjiba. Indunjiba means I am from. As you go a little bit further north, just even into the Treaty 3 area of Canada and further north from there, they will simply say Indonji, Indonji. And once in a while, you'll get an Onji out of speakers in the southern dialects too. And once in a while, you'll get an Onjiba out of the northern speakers. But that's the general prevailing pattern. So whatever the place happens to be, Indonjiba. Yeah, so for me, Gazagasquaji Mekag, Leech Lake, Indunjiba. And those would be common pieces of a protocol greeting. Putting it all together, Boujou, Anin, Wagosh, Indigo, Migizi, and Dodem, Gazagasquaji Mekag, Indunjiba. And that's usually how I start my YouTube videos, and a common greeting if I'm going to give a speech, or sometimes I'll break it into pieces when I'm meeting someone. There's more of a vocabulary to build up, to ask someone, what is your name, and what is, where are you from, and things like that. But those are the standard pieces for an Ojibwe protocol. Miigwech? Thanks for watching today. I'm Anton Treuer. Let's keep in touch. I'm active on social media, and my website has lots of information on my books, speaking engagements, free Ojibwe language resources, resources for teachers, and more. Miigwech?